Say what's cracking, YouTube. It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Before I get started, I'm asking that in the event you like this story or this information, you be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and definitely be sure to hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP Rocky, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, I was arrested in 94. I was eventually given 16 years plus life. I ended up doing 24 years straight in some of these California prisons, and I accumulated some stories. But today is Friday. So what I normally do on Friday, I do a segment I call Free Game Friday. And what I'm trying to do is spread a little positive information to the youngsters who are out there still in the street, because I definitely don't want them to think that by the telling of these stories that I'm endorsing or condoning, these street activities and things that go on in prison. The stories may be entertaining, they may seem funny to some, and I do try to make them a little entertaining, but at the same time, man, it's life, and it's something that you definitely don't want to get caught up in. So I'm just trying to provide a little information, like I would have, like some of my older homies used to me when I was out there in the streets, telling me things to try to make me change the way I think, change the way I move, and eventually, get out of the street altogether. And so today, what I would like to talk about is the practice of these youngsters have basically committing these crimes and putting all the information on different social media sites. I know that's a cultural thing. I know this is what a lot of youngsters are doing, and you know, uh, you have to look at it like this, man. Trying to fit in, is basically possibly just sending yourself to the penitentiary. When you on camera, you rapping, you got these guns, you talking about who you beefing with, who you after, what I'm saying? You putting all this type of stuff on social media there for everybody to see, but you got to keep in mind that the police definitely they watch this type of stuff. The police even create fake pages so they can get more information. So basically, what you're telling the officer is, hey, look at me and help, I'm gonna help you take me to prison. We don't realize that when, you're out there, you beefing with somebody, man, the police is seeing all this. So in the event you go over there to that area, they come over to your area, it's gunplay involved, they already going to have several leads on who potentially done it and who potentially the beef is about. A lot of dudes don't, a lot of these youngsters don't know, man. They making foolish moves, you go over there, you do something. In the event the police get a lead that it was you, they happen to get a hold of your cell phone, they can look at your cell phone and see, okay, well, at the time of the shooting, your cell phone was pinging off this tower that was 3 blocks away from where this shooting took place at. We got you on your social media site saying you got a beef with these dudes. You gonna shoot at them and this and that or whatever y'all be saying. You got these guns, you flashing all these guns. All these things is definitely gonna look horrible in front of a jury. Uh, the law says that when you go to trial, if you in the event you do even make it to trial, because to be honest, if you got a group of dudes, 4 or 5 young dudes, once they all get captured, and a lot of the young dudes see this information that because the police is gonna come in there and try to scare you and show you, well, hey, this is what I got. A lot of them dudes is not going. A lot of them dudes is not gonna keep quiet. A lot of them dudes is gonna be trying to remove themselves from the situation or get as less time as possible, and they're eventually going to start talking and giving up details. But in the event you do make it to trial and they're talking about a jury of your peers, you got to keep in mind that the individuals who will be on the jury will definitely not be your peers. Peers are people, are your friends, people that are like-minded, people that are doing the things that you're doing. These, while the law says peers, these people who are going to be on the jury, and to be honest, the majority of them are going to be white. They're all going to be law-abiding citizens. They think differently in terms of crime and crimes being committed, and they definitely don't want to see a person who, in their mind, is making it safe, who's making it unsafe for them and their loved ones to live peacefully in the community. They definitely don't want people like this in their community. And a lot of these people are already conditioned to believe that if the police pull you over and or take you to jail, then you obviously was guilty. And when I went to trial, I had a couple of dudes get up who was potential juries say that. They said that, well, we can listen. We can listen with an open mind. But one dude, he said, hey, if you guys got this guy right here, my brothers are police, my friends are police, so I automatically assume that he's guilty. So how many jurors may feel like that and just don't say it? And so this is what you guys have to understand, because when a lot of these people are pulled over, if they're white, if they look like they're law-abiding, the police don't treat them the way they treat us. They're not going to ask them initially to step out the car. A lot of times the first thing when I would get pulled over, the police would ask me to step out the car before they even ask me for a driver's license. But their interactions with white people are different. And so that's why white people view the police differently from a lot of minorities, because we have different interactions with the police. The police aren't courteous and professional when they deal with a lot of us if they suspect us of being a gang member or possibly being a drug dealer or whatever. And regardless of this, even if that is the situation, we're still supposed to be treated with the same professional courtesy. But of course, that's not the case. So my point to the point that I'm trying to make to the youngsters out there, that when you go to trial, these are the type of individuals that's going to be on your jury. People that's looking to send gangbangers, drug dealers, etc., to prison. It's going to be rough. And another thing I wanted to speak on, man, is us as parents, older cousins, big homies, or even just friends and elders of these younger people, and especially the parents. You have to be more mindful. You have to be more aware of what your son, your loved one, your nephew, whoever is doing. We see these young dudes making videos, 15, 16 years old. They got guns all in the video, and you'll have a lot of loved ones who will turn a blind eye to things like that. But then when their loved one is killed in the street, murdered, shot, the first thing they want to holler is how their loved one was so innocent. He didn't do nothing wrong. The rap music was just a form of art and expression. He really didn't live that life. It's like that. We don't want to hold our loved ones accountable for what they're doing when they're alive. But the second they get killed, we want to then step up and scream and holler and demand justice and pretend like our loved one wasn't potentially out there creating a lot of havoc and mayhem itself. We love to say, well, that wasn't my son. That was just the friends he hung around with. It was them. And to be honest with you guys, today, I wish my father had have done all he could, even if he sent me to jail, instead of having to go spend 24 years in prison. When I was in prison, my father passed away. And so, now when I was 15, 16 out there selling drugs, 17, my father would come up there looking to catch me. Now, if he had caught me out there, he would have jumped out and acted a fool. He definitely would have tried to fight me and hit me. And I didn't want to be embarrassed in front of all my friends. And so when I would see his car, I'd take off running. Or he drove a motorcycle. When I hear the motorcycle, I'd definitely take off running and hide, so he wouldn't come up there and cause this scene. Now, of course, a lot of my friends, they'd be laughing. They would be clowning me and this and that. But of course, I didn't want to go, I didn't want to go through this altercation with my father. So unfortunately, once I turned 18, the only thing he told me then was be careful. I never forget, my father told me one day, he said, be careful. They giving out life for people who kill people, And I told him, don't worry, Dad, I'm not going to get caught. But now I wish that even though I turned 18, he would have stayed on me. He would have stayed trying to get me to do the right thing, because we have to realize that as parents, as older brothers, as big homies, we're always going to know more than our children. We're always going to know more than the younger homies, regardless of how hard-headed, how stubborn they may be, or how much they think they know everything. They don't know more than us because they haven't lived longer than us. They haven't experienced the situations that we experience. So it is our job and our obligation to try to guide these guys in the right path, instead of turning a blind eye to the things that we know they're doing, or we at least have an idea of what they're doing, because as innocent and as wholesome as they may act inside the door. And to keep it honest, nowadays a lot of the youngsters don't even have respect like we used to have. So a lot of them are just blatant with what they're doing, and they're not trying to hide it. So who knows what they're doing once they leave those doors, once they go outside and hit the block with the homies, And so they out there selling drugs, they out there toting pistols, they doing things that's eventually may bring deadly repercussions and consequences to them and to people hanging around them. Because now in the streets, these youngsters don't care who they catch you with. They out there shooting up funerals, shooting up mamas. They don't care. And so I'm saying that us being older, us having more knowledge, and us knowing them things, why are we not doing more things to prevent and remove our loved ones from the street? Instead of waiting till someone murders them, then we're showing up at the funeral, we're showing up on these news interviews, pretending and acting as if our loved ones were 100% innocent and had no wrongdoings in the street. And so that's all I'm trying to say, that, by us being older, by us knowing what's going on, we have to do more. We have to do more. We have to take a hands-on approach in trying to remove our loved ones from the calamities of the street. I know it's an old cliche, but it's true. If you out there in the street and you really with the business, you really about that life, eventually you got two things coming, and you'll be lucky to get one of them, and that's a prison sentence. Because many of us don't make it. Many of us don't make it to an age where we're old enough to mature and see that being in the street, representing the gang, representing the hood is foolish. So, that's my free game, man. And I'm telling you youngsters, man, when y'all get caught up, it's going to be ugly. It's not going to be the life that you used to. And you will definitely see that it's not worth risking your life, your freedom, for the streets. So, like I say, man, hopefully you guys will be able to take some of the things I said, move differently, and even just remove yourself from the street entirely. But if not, my best wishes to you, man. And I pray for you, because, like I say, going to prison is a humongous waste of time, man. You already know what it is, though. It's your boy 16 to life, man. Check me out. I just shot a video not too long ago. I dropped it. The name of the song is Go From Here. You can check my music out on 16 to life music on YouTube, and also I got a song, Never Gave Me Therapy, on all major platforms, Apple Music and things like that. So check your boy out at 16 to life. Resume normal program.